Welcome back to Commentary. I'm Ashley.
I'm Ty.
Katie.
Today we're going to take you on a journey to Fort Knox.
It's so far away.
It's in Prospect, Maine.
Mm-hmm.
What a pretty place.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. We got to go there on a nice summer day. Join us as we relive these memories.
A historic war fort with many documented cases of spirits opens its walls to haunt me for one night. Is it haunted or not? Join us and find out. Welcome to Haunt Me. Tonight we visit one of our most historic locations yet.
Oh, my hair is parted weird.
This fort was used during the
You can see
Civil
my
War
face.
and was the home base.
You can also see how it's summertime and I'm not tan at all. That's my skin and it doesn't do anything.
Visitors have reported being touched by unseen entities and having their hats thrown off. Thermal images of entities were
Yeah, so we all wore hats that night because there were a lot of stories of hats being tossed off people's heads.
How about a Civil War hat? Ash took my Civil War hat.
I did. It looked better on me.
It did. I didn't lie.
It stayed on me all night.
Yeah, the hats didn't come off, but we had to
The site
try.
that Fort Knox was built on has a long history. Even before the actual
she
fort was
in a
constructed.
basement?
That's my grandmother's barn.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Oh, Nana's barn.
I miss my Nana's
Up
barn.
and down the Penobscot River, both in terms of the Revolution.
I gotta
and
say, I
War of
like the name
1812.
Leon.
The town across
you?
the
I
river
do.
here is Bucksport. Came under bombardment by British ships.
We went to
British went all the way
Bucksport,
up
real
the
quick.
river to Bangor. And
Wait, is that
actually
in here?
occupied it. A
No, that was
it
a Thai
it was a
Tuesday.
special, yeah, where
really
we
a
got to
source of a
visit
lot of
the
military conflict.
General
The
Buck's
And the fort
grave.
was started back in
gravestone.
The witches.
1844.
The witch's boot.
Curse.
Really
Yeah,
took
it's
off
the
during
Buck
Civil
grave, but the
War.
witch's
Yeah.
boot was
A lot
on
of
it.
construction was taking place in the 1860s. The fort construction stopped in 1869. The fort was only 90% completed. Though it was manned for defensive purposes during the Civil War, it never saw any real action.
Most of the cannons were eventually given away after the Spanish-American War. The fort was eventually sold in 1923 when it became maintained by the local Parks and Recreation Department. In the 1990s, it went through a series of repairs and then opened its doors to the public for tours.
Tonight we will be investigating alongside another Maine ghost hunting team, the East Coast Ghost Trackers.
Jamie.
Coast
Investigating
Ghost Trackers. Say that
Fort
4
Knox
times
for the past
fast.
7 years.
ECGT.
They're well versed in all the paranormal
Wow.
activities.
East Coast
surrounding
Ghost
the fort.
Trackers. East
Right.
Coast Ghost Trackers. East Coast.
Founder of the East Coast Ghost Trackers, and we're a paranormal team based out of Brewer, Maine.
My name is Jamie Doobie. I'm with East Coast Ghost Trackers.
We spend a lot of time here at Fort Knox during the summertime. We do ghost tours every month, and we do a special on Halloween night.
Okay,
for a
so I
6-hour
went back here. Hunt Me actually had a premiere up at the Alamo Theater in Bucksport, which is really cool. We showed this episode. But during Halloween, the locals turned all of this into a haunted house. It was insane. Because I'm like walking through it and I was like, oh, this is Mike's hallway, but there's like demons jumping out at you. This room that we're in right now was full of corn. There was like corn stalks everywhere. It was like an indoor cornfield.
That's
Wow.
weird.
It was
yeah.
strange, yeah.
I mean, it's already creepy enough.
Yeah.
Which we can use her later on tonight. We can try to use her. I usually set the doll up over here in this corner. And
There are a couple stories that didn't make it into this episode. There was that long, that long walkway. What was that called again? Do you remember that hall?
Yeah,
in
with
the
the
back?
Something
putty
alley,
figure.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let's just call it Darkness Alley.
Yeah, and there
Yeah.
was a
It was so dark you couldn't even see your
seen
hand
dark
in front of your
until you've been
face. Like, yeah. he's
Yeah.
just
Like he
gonna
said,
talk
yeah, there
about
you
it
go.
right
it was
now.
pitch black, but there was a
You can't
person
let this
there
here. You can't see
who
it.
was closing up one night and he saw a person with a long dark cloak walking down that hallway, and he yelled to them that they were closing, and then the person disappeared. That story didn't make it into the episode because
To
we
this
didn't.
day, I am
explore
convinced
that
that
area.
that is the spirit that annihilated me and you in the hall.
That
There
thing
was-
was nasty, and these guys know the ghosts that are there. They were adamant that it was one of two,
It
and
wasn't,
I knew
though.
it wasn't.
We
No,
know
there was a
for sure
point
it
in the later in the episode when they were talking to Elizabeth, and something weird showed up. Something dark, and I think it might have been that spirit.
And you can almost feel them because you'll feel it.
I mean, it's entirely possible that certain spirits just don't interact with certain groups. You
Yeah.
know?
100%. It's more likely that there's spirits not interacting on cue than there are spirits interacting on cue. Just because think about
right
you as
now-
a person. You don't want to like, you know, be,
I knew something was going on right now. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
We have a lot of action happens with the K2s up there.
Good.
Yeah, the more that you investigate, even if you're not necessarily a psychic or sensitive person, you become more aware of the feelings in your body when there's something paranormal going on.
Yeah.
And like you feel chills even when it's not cold, things like that. Especially when they line up with evidence, that's when it gets really, really fun.
Spidey sense is off the chart.
Raiding this haunt was unique because we were fortunate enough to be given evidence by the East Coast
We were so
ghost
lucky to get
trackers
to
backing
go
up the
into this
claims
place
that
after
we've
dark.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
With evidence supporting
When we
object
left everyone,
manipulation,
there was a
EVPs,
thunderstorm
and
rolling in
K2
over the
activity
water.
matched
I
with
sat
the
on top of
history at
the fort for
Haunt
like
rates
10
Fort
minutes
Knox.
and just watched the lightning, and it was perfect.
It was a difficult ride home, if I remember. It was pouring.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys got
it
to see me
was.
at my finest.
Yeah, I drove by you. You were
like
like,
an old man.
you had glasses on. You were hunched over the wheel.
I don't like to risk it.
Into 2 groups with members from each paranormal team on each group. We'll be focusing on a couple hot spots tonight, including the room supposedly haunted by the little girl spirit, Elizabeth, and the area known as Mike's room. We're hoping that with the expertise of the East Coast ghost trackers, we'll be able to find both these spirits and more. Okay, so Sean, Carol, and I will probably go with Jamie and Amanda, and then Katie and Ty will go with Ken and Katrina, and you guys are gonna start in Mike's.
In Mike's area because I think I already made friends, so.
And we're gonna start in the
So there's a
opposite
Leopold
rooms.
here.
I think
Yeah,
it's great
Mike and
for meeting up
Leopold
with you
and
guys
Elizabeth.
For the first time, because there's always something to be gained and learned when.
We
girls
were
and
talking
share
to
their information with
Leopold
each other, so this
right
would be a really
before
great night.
we both were kind of got annihilated, but I'm still convinced that it was that dark cloaked figure that was there with us.
Yeah, it was something not friendly.
It's hard to
Okay, so what I
see
did
spirits
earlier
when
was
you're
that
actually
central
in
object
some
in
place
here.
that's actually pitch black.
Yeah, can't see shadows in the absolute dark.
Had that
cannot.
block knocked off. Okay. With everybody just standing here, standing still. I also have another figured object. It's a ghost touch. Any type of energy at all, a human energy.
And we have one now.
If you
We
come
do. We
in-
got one. This is the first time we got to use one, and then we got one for season 3. Stay tuned.
You
Ooh.
can chime in if you
And you'll see the evidence we get with it in episode 1.
Ours is a little bit less sensitive, where his you have to have the hand over it. Ours you have to actually grab onto it. So if it
More
triggers, that means something is
yeah, less
holding it.
So when we actually do get the evidence, you know
Don't be
it's
afraid of us.
the real thing.
You don't need to be shy. Elizabeth, are you here?
It's kind of like the
Putting a light right on your doll so you can
the
find
K2
it.
meters, like versus the EMF. You know, some of them are more sensitive, and
Yeah,
you have to almost be standing right on top of it to get it to go off.
We're at your level.
I like that though because it
Me
means there's
too.
less interference.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
it does create a bit of a weird aspect when you know that there's a spirit like standing on you, but
Yep. Like in season 1 in the mill. Long alley. There you go.
long alley, yes.
This was hard because if you move too close to the side, there's
can
lumps
just
of
get over
rock
here
to
for a
trip
second
over in
now.
the dark.
There's
Everybody
also
turn your
steps
lights off.
everywhere.
You can see what I was talking about, the darkness. And we got the camera light going, but I mean, I can't see my hand. And it's, so I said, it's a totally different darkness in this place.
It's awkward too because you have to make sure your face
on,
doesn't look
Mike.
stupid because even though you don't think no one can see it,
Leopold.
the IRs are picking you up.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's how it is all the time. I
You're
will
not-
watch this and be like, oh man, look at
You're not
your
safe to like
face."
scratch your nose or anything. Someone's gonna catch you.
This was the safest I felt all night.
Back to back.
Thanks for doing that,
Who was
Katie.
taller?
It was so
Ghost box.
scary in there. We needed to do that.
Is that the obelisk?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. That's
This right here is an
definitely my
Argos
least
PX. What it is,
favorite scientific
It's got over
tool.
2,000
I wouldn't
words,
say scientific.
programmed
It's-
into this box. It doesn't run like a spirit
Yeah.
box
My least
or
favorite
a ghost box.
electronic
It
tool.
still reads
Yeah, I
electromagnetic
don't-
Do you
fields.
guys want to elaborate on
It
why
takes those
you
fields
feel
and
that way?
transposes those
He's
into
doing it.
words that's already built inside the Oculus.
So the words are built in. You can hack an Ovilus to put your own words in there, so it only has words
you
like
working
devil,
right now?
Satan, fire, help. So that's the one way that I don't like it. Secondly, if you can't do that and it just has a random word bank, I don't know the scientific reasoning behind
Why are you saying
what would
Satan?
trigger a specific word versus something else. It just seems too random and convenient.
Talk to the ghost box.
I've been on an investigation with Carol before where we were in a place where the Ovilus went off and it said pants, then it said cereal,
Apple, I think.
something like that,
Yeah.
and then it said fire. And on the fourth word, everyone freaked out because they're like, there was a fire here. I was like,
Right.
well, you can't rule out pants or apples or anything else then either. Those are just as relevant.
Right. I feel like it's only useful if
I'd like to point out that I've been talking to Elizabeth the whole time before.
Yes, and then she popped up.
Yeah, and then there she was.
that might be one of the clearest EVPs we've
I
ever
love that
gotten.
EVP.
Yeah.
tells the ghost tracker Jamie to do over and over again. So perhaps Elizabeth was mimicking the other spirit that constantly dwells in that room.
Is that you, Elizabeth?
Going back to the obelisk, I think it's useful to kind of
Lots of times
go
on
alongside
investigations, not
other
just
scientific
here at the
equipment,
fort,
and
many of the
but you
residential
kind of just have to
places
take
that
it
we
with a
go to,
massive
the
grain of
entities will
salt.
draw from the human body, they'll draw from your equipment, and if it draws from the human body, it does take a toll. You know, you really get drained. We try to entice the entities to take the energy that we produce for them, raw electricity. On count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
I love how our cameraman jumps here.
Well,
because-
yeah, there was no warning that he was going to turn on the taser.
It's the loudest taser I've ever heard in my life.
It was, yeah. The reason that he's using the taser is because of that electrical shock that it gives out is supposed to be. Yeah, he's explaining, giving the energy to the spirits to use.
That's the only taser I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Not me.
Katie, you have wild times.
I work downtown in a store by myself, so we have a taser.
Good job, sweetie.
Yeah, thank you.
If they're drawing from you and your energy is drained, it's hard to keep levels so you can make the contact with them. Okay, now go over there and grab that doll.
Grab the doll. Yeah, go get the doll.
Come on. Want me to hold your hand again? Come on. Let's go. Come this way. Come on. Come hold the doll. Come on.
Using toys in investigations is always good, especially if you know that there's a child ghost there. We sometimes bring toys, or places like the Mill Agent's house, which it's the next episode.
Yeah, we left a toy at the Mill Agent's house,
We
right?
did, yeah. There's already a lot of toys there, so
I like
those
stuff
are-
like that.
Yeah, I like
Ask
trigger
her to
objects
come up
too.
and hold his hand, and she would, and then he would say, "Could you please follow me to the next one?" And then he would back up, walk over to the next one, and then that would light up. Then he walked over to the doll and said, "Could you hug the doll?" That lit up.
I've never personally seen something like that, where a ghost was attached to a person that way, and not having it be a scary sort of attachment.
Creating the bond, creating the trust with the entities here. And Elizabeth, she's really fun to work with, but there is a lot of trust involved there. If she's not comfortable with whoever she's working with, then there won't be any activity at all.
It was dark, it felt oppressive, and we were getting just hesitant activity on the outskirts of our peripheral.
Is there one of us that you like, Mike?
Go over and touch somebody if you like them.
We can tell you a little more about ourselves if you come and touch us so we know which one to talk about.
Katie opened herself up. I did as well, to try to connect with whatever was there. That was a huge mistake.
Did you leave?
We're using the wrong name.
Yeah, maybe it's
Yeah.
Leopold.
This is when you guys thought that there was a dark spirit. Yeah.
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 This is me getting my psychic on.
Yeah.
This is a rare moment for you guys to enjoy.
What's your name,
I'm
then?
breaking. I usually just keep quiet.
Gets right in between Ty and I and takes us down.
Yep.
Okay, there's something in between me and you.
I can't breathe, so I was just gonna ask out loud right before you said that if you're if this person's the reason I can't breathe.
I feel like I'm dying.
Look at the camera's blurring too.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Trying
weird.
to focus on something.
Sweaty.
It's so dark.
Which is the
Maybe that
opposite of being
something
cold.
is a ghost.
And I say that because it
Why
was
don't you
very
come
cold.
touch my green light?
Yeah.
Was it actually cold
Take
or
It
the
was like
energy
a
from my
cold
green
blob
light
just
and
came
not from
rolling
us.
through.
I don't
Except it
feel
made me
like what we
sweat.
encountered
I was
one of
just
the
talking
spirits
about
that
how I was
East Coast
sweating.
ghost
And Ty was
trackers were
getting
trying to communicate with.
nauseous.
think
I thought I was
that's
gonna tip
Mike and
over, so I was
Leopold.
getting
What me and
closer
Katie
to the ground
contacted
just in
was
case
someone
that
else.
happens.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh God!
Well-
Next episode.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe it
I've
was
had-
the first
I've
time.
had people tell me that there's a bad spirit over in this section, but we've never had any dealings with it.
Have you guys had anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had some stuff.
Jamie, like, there's a K2 here.
Ghosts were
K2
all
here,
around that
K2
night
here. I
'cause
mean, spread out.
They
And he
never
asked
thought
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth
"Can you
was
hold my
anywhere
hand?
else, and
K2
we found
went off.
Elizabeth
Can
in
you
Mike's
follow me?"
room. So,
Oh yeah.
Next
You
one
know.
went off, third one off. He
There- you
finally,
can't-
he was like,
predict what spirits are gonna do because they're just like
okay,
people.
now
Well, one of
keep going
the
here to the
most
dog,
common
dog,
misnomers
dog.
is that
Red,
ghosts have to
red,
stay
red.
in
The
their
thing that ghost
room.
touches
They're
goes
just
on.
like us. They can go wherever they want.
Right.
This isn't like the Casper rules or like
Exactly.
the Beetlejuice where you can't leave your house or you get eaten by sandworms.
We have seen spirits that have been stuck in one place. So like at the
Yes.
farmhouse,
way down on purpose.
what was
and I
Maynard?
Maynard,
I know
but he was
it's
like
not
protecting
one of
that
the
area. That was his.
Yeah.
so far. 'cause I
Yeah,
was getting
that's a
frustrated that we
that's a
couldn't
bad dude.
run.
But don't think that they can't
And I
leave
was like down on the ground. Like,
Some of
just
them
trying to
can't
breathe for a
though.
little
It's
bit.
true.
if they're confused or
Yeah, if they're like,
yeah.
especially
Yeah.
like
It was
kid
in
spirits
between
can
me
get
and
trapped
Katie, like, we
places.
didn't
They're
talk to
waiting
each
for
other,
someone to help
and
them, or
She's like, I can't breathe.
Carol, Sean, and I went with Jamie and Amanda up into Mike's room after our time with Elizabeth.
Okay, Mike. I have Ashley standing in the center here with me. Ashley, I'm gonna have you stand right where I'm standing, facing that way, okay?
Okay.
Go back up just a little bit. A little bit more.
Oh. Michael, is that you? Can you blink that up to orange if this is Michael? Is this somebody else?
Come on, Mike, come on from down the hallway. Get over here.
Hey, you came to see us before. Can you come over again?
Don't hide, please. We want to talk to you, get to know you.
Whoever's here, can you...
Those hallways, guys, they're just so
So is
eerie. Like it's like I like. It takes a special moment for me to take a step back and realize that like this is real life, not a horror movie we're watching. Because some of the times it really feels like we are in them.
Coincided
Yeah,
with
definitely.
K2 activity. Jamie gave me a K2 meter.
That's a nice
and,
hat, Ash.
A K2
Yup.
on the stairs that led from the hallway.
matches
would
my
light up,
jacket pretty
and then
well.
my K2 would light up as though the spirit was walking.
Yeah, it
down
didn't
the
go with my
path.
outfit. You can have it. You look better in it.
thank you.
I know.
We all knew. Besides, you gotta showcase that hair.
It goes unsaid. Thank you.
I didn't hear you. Can you tell me, can you say it louder? What do you want me to do?
What happened?
Can you say that again? What do you want me to do? That was almost a sit down. I don't know if you guys caught that. Mike, what do you want me to do? Tell me again.
That's it.
Mike, I didn't hear you. Can you tell me one more time?
Whoa.
Thank you. He yelled that time.
Where's your family, Elizabeth?
Spirit box time. Oh, this creeped me out so bad, Katie.
Yeah, well, this is us upstairs.
Alone.
have to say it really loud.
East Coast left us like they sent us off on our own. We're up here all by ourselves now.
Do you remember there were bats in the fort?
Oh yeah.
A bat flew at my head one time.
I'm gonna go get them after
after this break we're gonna have.
OMG bats.
This is when I realize it's quiet.
Do you not want us to use that machine? We can't hear you if we don't use that machine. You're gonna have to come closer to the green light if you don't want to use that machine.
Shut the spirit box right off.
Yep. I'm enthralled right now. Sorry, no commentary for a moment.
I know, this is actually really exciting. It's been a while since I've seen this.
Let's get the spirit box back, everyone. Don't worry. We can talk to those spirits.
Let's try this again. Does someone not want us to talk to Elizabeth?
Shut off
The
again.
answer to that question is yes.
You want me to come back over by your doll? Can you come back over here? Come by your doll. Come on. You can do this again for everybody. That's okay.
You're doing such a good job. Could you just do it one more time for us, please?
It should be noted that the second floor is where Katie and I just were.
Yeah.
Sam, was that you? No.
This is around the time where I started feeling a dark presence.
because it like fell on me.
Yeah, it sounded like a rock.
And again, they said that maybe it was Elizabeth, but I felt like there was somebody else
Is there
there.
someone upstairs?
Maybe it's that
Elizabeth?
cape man.
Yeah, the cloak.
Cloak.
Boys, honey, you are quite something. I
All the way to red,
I
girl.
wish everybody else could feel you.
Good job. Oh.
Is there somebody upstairs?
Whatever that was upstairs was amazing. Like
Yeah, that was
dust,
like a rock. That
Dust
sounded
like
like-
fell on me.
Really?
Yeah, that's
There was something real.
Can you make that happen again? Can you make that sound again?
Whoever's up there?
Did you throw a rock up there?
Can you come
throw
back?
it again?
Come on back. Back up to the door. I wish you could push that ball for everybody.
Thank
Get the
you.
ball and push. Come on.
Push it right to Jamie, honey. Right to Jamie.
Get the ball and push. Push, 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 push.
You can do it, sweetie.
Push it. Give it a push.
I had never seen such like spot on call and response. I mean, as far as the timing and with the questions and whatnot, it was unreal.
I've never seen that before in such quantity. It was very cool.
The fort is really known for people getting physically
Cool game
touched.
that
With
we get to
Elizabeth,
play.
I brought it to a different level.
Well,
I get to play
Ty
too.
and Carol got to
Blindfold on
play.
me, and I had
didn't want to.
headphones that had,
Carol's
white
made the
noise
episode
going
because
to
it
heighten
was
the
better
rest of
than
my
mine,
senses. And
but
from the
when
other
I was
room,
down
he
there,
would tell her where
Carol
to touch me.
convinced whatever it was that was messing with us to pull my hair, which I'm explaining right now that it also grabbed my arm.
Yeah,
It was-
we all know that Ty hates his hair to be messed up, so
Don't touch
we
it.
specifically told the spirit to touch Ty's hair.
And it did. But I think Carol getting a bear hug is better for film.
How was it being in a dark room with white noise playing on
See,
it?
that's the thing where you're wondering if your brain's playing tricks on you.
Ask Elizabeth to go
You're
out
wondering
and
if you
touch the
feel something
investigator
touching
at
you, and then
certain
something
spots
like
on
pulls your
body
hair. You're like, oh no, that's what I was waiting for.
Right.
Put that right here, Carol.
I was uncomfortable though because in the other corner there was the ghost touch box, and even though I couldn't hear it and I couldn't see it, I had a blindfold on. I had my eyes open underneath that blindfold, and I could see the flashing going off whenever whatever was nearing me. So that was terrifying.
So how would you describe the sensation? It wasn't like was it a light touch or was it more of like an obvious thing?
The first two times that I felt something in my hair, I thought it was a spider, so I was trying to like get it out without motioning to the camera that I felt something. So I was trying to play it cool, and then the third time something just grabbed my bangs and pulled forward, and I was like, no, that's the thing, that's the
Wow. I probably would have screamed and ran.
I just sat there and I was just like, they gotta come in and get me now. Like, they have to.
All in the lower half of my face and my chest, the backs of my arms. It was just happening constantly, like little touches of flesh.
I would never, and I've said this before, you can only do this type of stuff if you know the entities that you're working with. You can't do this stuff on cold investigations where you don't know where you're going, because that could be very, very dangerous.
Valid.
He is correct.
Yeah. You would not want to play
Spirits
that
are
game.
so serious. They will attach themselves to you, they will drain your energy, and you won't even know it. Before you know it, you're going bankrupt, you can't get a job, you lose your house. A lot of bad things can happen to you. Relationships go away. Like, spirit attachment is real, and it's very serious.
Another PSA brought to you by Katie Webb.
Well, it's true. When my family lived in a haunted house when I was younger, like that, my parents, like my dad lost his job, my parents had a lot of issues, and as soon as we moved out, it all went away.
Let's talk about how that's become the normal for us now, saying when I lived in my haunted house when I was younger.
I know.
That's the new norm. Oh yeah, my haunted house.
Yeah. That was the really, I say, I've only lived in 2 Oh, God.
Incredible night. We've seen this all before, but to bring in another paranormal group and show them what can be done is quite something.
That was a beautiful day. Beautiful July day.
We do want to say that we don't take playing games with spirits very lightly. This was just sort of, you know, a kind of an experiment to see if spirits would want to cooperate in that way.
Especially since the people who are there more than we are, you know, felt comfortable with that.
Right, that isn't something we would ever do without
any care to it.
Yeah. Oh! Perry's Nut House. If you're on your way up to Fort Knox, stop there.
Trail mix, yes.
That was the best place.
All right, well, thanks for watching this commentary and
you guys,
listening
we
to
got
us.
so much more commentary coming your way.
Stay tuned for the Millagin House. And
make sure that you like us on Facebook. That is www.facebook.com/hauntmeofficial.
Yes.
And there's Carol. Carol's name.
She would want us to call that out.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's there. Anyways, we'll be back.
All right. Bye.
Check us out soon. Bye.